Hello, today I will be showing you how I shade skin in my art style. If you have any questions, say them in the comments, and make sure to subscribe if you enjoy this content. So first, I usually get a reference image. Normally, people would just immediately use the airbrush, but for me, I'm going to use pen fade right here to swipe across the blushy color so you can give it that look, that template I should say, and then do a little a color that's a little darker and swipe across and add a highlight. Sort of. For me, I'm still kind of developing this blushing technique, but this is the one I'm going to be using. And of course, it takes a lot of process, and I removed the highlight because I made a few mistakes. So, to guarantee satisfaction, I recommend drawing it on another layer. Sorry for that stutter. And then we get airbrush, and we need to imagine where it's gonna go. So we are gonna be brushing across the areas we specifically want to be highlighted, be the main parts that are highlighted basically. And of course, so first you try to extend that part that we highlighted and try to use the airbrush to blend it in. And I'll be tagging this brush, but this brush will be so that you can highlight that area easier and you can swipe across. And I recommend doing a dark color because this is a very transparent brush. And for me, I'm doing some darker colors mainly because of course, like I said, a very transparent brush. And the more darker, I recommend doing it vivid a little bit, so the transparency will eventually adjust to the color. And like I said, this is the main part of the blush. And of course, I'm adding the streaks, the classic streaks. And then next, I'm gonna do another layer, and I am gonna use the airbrush to add some after fade to it so it doesn't look too bad that way. And now just get a dip pen and use a darker color. And for me, it takes a while for me to pick out the color, but I recommend doing a color that is slightly darker than the blush, or not slightly darker. Just try to make it not blend in with the blush too much and stand out a little bit. Not too much though. And you don't even have to, you just have to strike across with the the dip pen. And basically my strategy is I do a big line, and basically it takes me a while to do the big line. And first of all, I do a big line, and then I do two little lines coming from that big line, and we do two little lines and then another little line until it fits the eye. And it really adds the special touch. If you're an anime artist, this will be really good. And of course, you need to complete that highlight. Since that highlight's transparent, we already have kind of the shadow, so that will be good. Okay. And next, we're gonna go to another layer, trying to find the skin layer. It takes a lot. And we found it, I think. Yeah. So basically, we are gonna add please do this very slightly because it's very noticeable, but you just add a little, boop to the nose. Yep, just like that. And now we are gonna add a blush. Don't do that because that will be that wouldn't fit my style. That's a no-no. Instead, we are going to use an airbrush. If you complete your mouth, then this will be no problem, but it's a problem for me. I will be doing this, and I recommend using a slightly darker mouth color. That's why I have a reference. I'm trying to make my color palette slightly consistent with my art. Not too consistent, it depends on the character. However, certain parts of my color palette are going to be very consistent. Now, next, the shading. I use the 2x3 Japanese shading style I got from some YouTubers. So first thing you do is you get something similar to the blush color and you strike it across the face. Yeah, you just strike it across the face, and please make it very far from the bangs. This won't be our main shade, but it will be reflecting from our darker shading color. And then we are gonna lower the opacity. And then what we do is we add a darker color, reflecting, please make it a little against the skin more, and like a little, close. And I recommend try to learn how the shading style. It depends on if your character is blue or anything, but for now my character is gonna be like this, and then you do it with everything else. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit because this is a long process and I did some mistakes. I hope you love the music. Now, get out your airbrush, and basically over the parts that look kind of dull, we are gonna put the airbrush, stripe the airbrush across, maybe even near the shading areas you think need more highlights. And for example, any areas that didn't get shading, like for example these fingers didn't get any shading, so we'll add the airbrush. And very quickly, for people that don't really understand the shading area, if you want, you can just, for example, let's just put a sun. Just put a circle, You can put a circle like this. And you can maybe even put those things so it's kind of like what it stands for, like that it's a light source. You can even put that on there. I'm too lazy to write the whole thing on there. And maybe you can even make it look like the sun. As you can see, you just shade parts that are away from the sun. I'm still working on it. And lower the opacity so it doesn't get annoying. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please make sure to like and subscribe, comment, maybe share it. Depends on your choice. I might post some memes or animations. And if you're willing to see my art journey and as I prove, I bet you'll enjoy it.